You're watching Chat Sports. I am your host, Tom Downey, and as part of our live NFL daily shows, we do mailbags as well. All of the questions coming from you guys in the live audience. Super chat from John Houston. Will Farley slip to the second round now? He also threw in some emojis. Thank you, John. This is a $2 super chat, by the way. I don't know where Farley goes. That is one of the ultimate wild cards this year. 2 back surgeries before you're even in the NFL. That's a red flag, guys. So, look, I could see Farley going top 15. I could see him fall into the middle of round 2. I have no idea. It's going to be fun to see what happens on draft night. From Joshua, a $5 super chat. Which offensive line draft prospect do you see the Seahawks drafting with their first pick? Dickerson, Quinn Miners, Trey Smith, Wyatt Davis, or Liam Eichenberg. I think Eichenberg's off the board, so I'll cross him off the list there. I think they're in pretty decent shape at guard. Trey Smith, I think, is the most likely between him and Wyatt Davis to be there. I would love Landon Dickerson. That would be the perfect and best fit for Seattle. I don't know if he's going to be there. If he's not, with no third-round pick either, I think Quinn Miners, the Wisconsin Whitewater product, is definitely in play. From Tristan Brown, Dallas signed KZ. The Earl Thomas dream is dead. Drink up. Okay, this is water or something. I mean, it's been dead for a while because Earl Thomas is a cancer, and NFL teams do not want him. That is not a player that NFL teams have shown interest in. So, yeah, like it's been dead for a while if we're being honest there. So, sorry, Cowboys fans. Just I don't think that's what's going to end up happening for either party involved. I think an Earl Thomas with the Cowboys deal, it's just simply not going to happen. From Burnin' Spades, Deion Jones takes a pay cut. Kind of. It was an unusual restructure, but for this year, pay cut, salary being saved. Had Atlanta opened up more cap to sign more defense/quarterbacks, or should have complement the signing trade so far to fit the scheme? I mean, the Falcons are not done making moves yet, and I think with where they're at, I don't know how active they're going to be in free agency, but they wanted some more buffer room. They wanted to be able to pay their draft picks. They still want to sign a few cheaper options, so restructuring someone like Deion Jones who's going to be on this team for several more years makes perfect sense. You would rather have a lower cap hit this year than a bigger cap hit down the road. So there's more coming for Atlanta. I don't think it's going to be a major move. So I'm giving you guys a chance now to be a hater in the comment section. You can be mean if you want. Who do you think has been the single biggest free agency loser so far? Get your votes in for me in the live comments. And if you're watching afterwards, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and get your votes in. From Sean Lyon, is Dallas finished adding before the draft? You might see like a tight end 3. You might see a cornerback. You might see a linebacker. But I think in general, Dallas feels good. And then after the draft, there are areas that they do not address, like they did last year. They could also add some more players. But I don't think you're going to see a major move. There could be a cornerback or a linebacker. But I think for the most part, Dallas is pretty much set. Chase Graff. Raiders sign Hooker and then Schwartz. Then trade down to get Barmore or Merrick and Jenkins. Then draft Greg Newsome in the second round. So, first part's fine. Your draft strategy includes taking 4 players who I think are going in round 1. I think Barmore going mid to late round 1. Merrick going late round 1. Jenkins going top 25. Newsome going round 1. So I love the idea. I just don't know how you're getting all those guys without moving up significantly because you picked 4 really good football players. I just don't think they're all going to be a realistic get for Las Vegas. From Day Daniels, thoughts on Danny Shelton to the Giants? Simply put, folks, look, Dave Gettleman can't help himself. Dave Gettleman loves getting defensive linemen. The Giants did not need another one. They were fine. Defensive line was not a need. Yes, I know they lost Dalvin Tomlinson. They got B.J. Hill and Austin Johnson and Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. They did not need Danny Shelton, But Dave Gettleman wants all the defense linemen. So a fine veteran addition doesn't really matter that much. I've not seen the contract details, so check in again after that. It's Lunatic, a super chat as well, $5 size there. Dallas goes offensive BPA at 10. Merrick Grant, don't make it to us. Who are we looking at pick 44? It's got to be a cornerback, right? Like, if you don't go corner in round 1, which is fine for Dallas, you got to go corner probably in round 2. Because you can't enter the year with Trevon Diggs and Anthony Brown. Like, that's not going to work for you. So, at that point, it depends on which one you want. I don't think Greg Newsome is there, but Ifeatu Melifonwu from Syracuse, that could be in play. One of the Georgia guys could be there. They'd never do it, but Asante Samuel, maybe those guys are in play for the Cowboys, or for the Cowboys in round 2. Now, I was told before the show began, I had to get 25 new followers, quote unquote, or else. And they did not specify what the or else was, and that always kind of makes me nervous. So help me out and go follow me on Twitter at whatgoingdown. Maybe they won't let me take any more time off, or they'll make me do less Cowboy stuff. I don't know. That doesn't sound fun. So help me out if you have questions, of course. Feel free to me. My DMs are open at whatgoingdowny. And if you follow me during today's live show later on, I'll give you guys some shout-outs as well. From Randy, super chat as well here. Chances Jerry Jones take Kyle Pitts now that the Eagles are traded back, and rumor is Eagles are grabbing picks for Deshaun Watson. Okay? I mean, I think Houston would rather have the chance to get a quarterback at 6, so that doesn't really make sense to me. Also, no one's trading for Deshaun Watson right now, guys. That's a problem. There's some not good stuff with Deshaun, as I'm sure you all know. So, probably not the path they're going there. I think there's a real chance Kyle Pitts is there. So we'll see if the Cowboys go tight end or if they go with a more important, in terms of need, position. From Gotham Guy, if Pitts falls to 10, then clearly Dallas will get trade offers from teams, but neither Surtain or Horn will fall past Arizona, where the Cowboys gamble, trade down, and risk not getting either cornerback. I mean, what if the Patriots move up? Like, what if there's a quarterback on the board? So, like, the trade down idea is a must discuss, but it's always difficult to know what the plan is if we don't know who's on the board. So, there are going to be trade offers no matter what. There will always be trade offers. It's a matter of, are those offers good enough? We'll see what the Cowboys end up doing. From Tommy, what can the Packers do in free agency or the draft? This was a $1.99 super chat, by the way. The Gotham Guy was 10. Offensive focus, probably. You lost Corey Linsley, so you're looking for either a center or a guard, depending on where you end up playing Elton Jenkins. You cut Christian Kirksey, so once again, linebacker. Oh, look, receiver. Also a need. Kind of feels like Green Bay might be done already. So I'm thinking linebacker, receiver, offensive line should be, emphasis on the should be, their focus in the NFL draft. From a sports fan, could Farley fall to the second round due to his back surgery? And if he did, could Seattle trade up to get him? I agree with you. It is a fantastic fit. Farley in Seattle is awesome. And I don't know where Farley goes. He could still go top 15. He could end up going middle of round 2 or even later. I don't know. It's such a wild card. As for Seattle, great fit. They have no draft picks, guys. It is going to be very difficult for Seattle to move up in this year's draft because they just don't have the assets. That makes it very, very difficult. From Michael Walsh, who is a potential surprise pick for the Dolphins at number 6 overall. You know, I guess quarterback in general would be one, but again, I'd be stunned. I think your realistic, somewhat mentioned surprise pick, how about Kyle Pitts? And I think Pitts will be there. And now if he's not, of course, across the board, right? But in terms of surprise picks, Dolphins have been so heavily linked to the receivers and Penei Sewell, right? But Pitts makes some sense. If you want to use 2 tight ends, Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts, that's an awesome 1-2 punch. And Pitts is a stud. I mean, this is a top 5 no-doubter prospect for me. I think he's going to be a future, Pro Bowl type player with immense upside. In fact, he's one of my favorite draft prospects this year. So that's my surprise pick for Miami there at number 6. But let me know what you guys think. Who is your favorite draft prospect this season? Doesn't have to be your best one, just your favorite one. Pitts is definitely in there for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. From Dylanator, I feel like Denver trading down with the Cardinals, so Arizona come up and take Surtain is pretty likely. Okay. Denver can still get a top defense player at 15. I think that makes some sense. I don't know if Parsons is still there for you at 15, but he could be. If you want to go John Elway edge rusher, there will be one there. You could still you should be able to get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think it's possible. I don't know if Arizona would move up to get a corner. That doesn't happen that often, especially into the top 10. Morris Claiborne, one obvious example, but Arizona might just stand pat and take Surtain or Horn. Now, if they both start to go early, maybe Arizona changes their mind, but I think they could just stand pat. But it's a good idea. It's a natural fit team player-wise there, my friend. Good comment. From DeLunatic, popping over a cold one for Earl Thomas for you. Thanks, my friend. Earl Dream will never die. From the Kings, Justin Meow does every trade involve an NFC West team. And they've been busy this year, huh? It's fun. I mean, they're just making moves. Seattle, of course, with Gabe Jackson. Arizona has been active in more free agency style moves there. And, of course, Niners the mega trade for the 3 picks. From Luther Poole, will the Falcons go receiver at number 4? Maybe? From a best player on the board perspective, there will be teams who have a receiver or tight end, I should say, as their best player when they're drafting. But Atlanta doesn't need a receiver necessarily. So you have Devonta Smith, you have Jamar Chase, you have Jalen Waddle, you have Kyle Pitts. Like those are all great options. So it's an interesting situation here for Atlanta. Do they just go with the best player on their board? That could be Kyle Pitts, could be Jamar Chase, Smith, whoever. Could be Penei Sewell. It doesn't fill their biggest need. And if Atlanta wants to go receiver, I would trade down. Move down a bunch of picks, add more draft capital, and then make your call. Because that's going to put you in a better position overall when it comes to the value of maximizing your top 5 pick. The only way, folks, to get on these live NFL mailbags is to be subscribed and to be active in the comment section. So if you want to join us for our live shows every Monday and Wednesday, hit that big red button and subscribe. That way, you don't miss out. Again, we're live twice a week, sometimes more. So if you want to join us here, the most interactive sports channel out there, hit that big red button and join us today. From Burning Spades, 3-team trade. Okay, let's get wild. I love it. Carolina moves to 4. Atlanta moves to 5. Take Pitts. Cincinnati moves to 8 and takes Chase. Thoughts and what would it take? So, here's the problem. I don't know if Chase is going to get to 8 in this scenario because you have the Lions at 7 and you have the Dolphins at 6. I think there's a very high possibility that receivers go in those spots. In fact, what I think is actually more likely is Cincinnati stays at 5 and takes Chase or Sewell, Atlanta just goes to 8 instead, and I think Pitts could still be there. So I like the idea behind it. I just don't know if Chase would fall to 8 in this particular scenario. From Cole Myers, who would you pick as an announcer-analyst duo for the NFL draft? Me. I'm picking myself because we do a live NFL draft. Like we are live for every single pick, all 3 days, and also break down stuff afterwards. So, great question, Cole. I pick myself, non-biased answer here, because we'll be live for every single pick. So if you're already subscribed, Cole, join us. We have fun during the NFL draft and actually talk about every pick, unlike ESPN who goes, let's talk to head coach now as we get to day 3. I want to hear about the picks. I don't care about interviewing the coach. We give you guys what you want. Draft analysis, not boring interviews. From Troy Daniels, do you think the Eagles come back up ahead of Dallas to get Kyle Pitts? Rumors had Eagles had their eyes dead set on him and go Dallas. Well, apparently not because they moved down. From the Eagles' perspective, if they really want to ensure Kyle Pitts, it's not just Dallas they'd be hypothetically jumping above. More importantly, the Giants, who could probably use Kyle Pitts as well. So I think it's possible. I think Philadelphia wanted value next year. So because of that, I think that you would see Philadelphia stand pat at number 12. So we're from Mr. Nobody, traded here for the Bears and Ravens. 2022 first, Charles Leno, Anthony Miller, and 5th and 6th rounders in 2023 for Orlando Brown and a 2022 4th rounder. Okay, so we're getting wild here. I hate it for the Bears because that first round pick could be really high. Unless you're getting a quarterback, which even then, dicey. I think you've got about the right value. I think if they were to get Leno, maybe it's even a second round pick. I like what you're putting together here. It's a lot of different moving pieces. If I'm Chicago, I am concerned about giving up that future first because that could be good if my team's bad. So if you make it a first round pick this year, I think you're in the right ballpark in terms of value. From Rome's, what do the Panthers do at 8 if they don't trade? I think 2 options here for Carolina. Number 1, they just take the best quarterback on the board, and that is the route they choose to go. Number 2 becomes if they don't want to go quarterback or they don't like the quarterbacks on the board, I think they would take Kyle Pitts, the tight end. At that point, I think they've had themselves a legitimate impact player.